Hello everyone, this is Martin Gaffery here, and I have done the live commentary alongside Stephanie Case of the HOKA Val by UTMB. And now, I'm excited to revisit with you the highlight of this fantastic event. From July 2nd to 6th, the little valley of Val d'Aran in the Catalan Pyrenees turned into trail running central. It is officially one of the 4 UTMB World Series major, the European one. And this means that finishers scored double running stones, as well as our top age groups athlete, plus the top 10 men and women in the 50k, 100k and 100 mile punched their ticket straight into the UTMB World Series Finals 2026 at the end of August. We had 7 distances this year, including the brand new Miao 10k to make trail running even more accessible. And then we had the classics 50k, 100k and 100 mile distances that we did cover live. Closing out on July 6th, we saw endless smiles at the finish line, exhausted yet elated hugs, and a community vibe that reminds you why trail running is so special. So, without further ado, it is time to take a deep dive into the first race we covered live, the PDA 50k. There we go, with a slightly altered course, we now have 52 kilometers and just under 3,000 meters of elevation gain for this point-to-point race starting in Salardou at 7 a.m. Let's look at our top runners in the women's category. Coming from Norway, Sylvia Nordskar is definitely one to look at. Coming from the US, Alison Bacca unfortunately could not make it. I think she had a health issue. And coming from China with a UTMB score of 793, Miao was one of the ones that we were expecting to do extremely well. Coming from the US, Christian Allen also came with a long list of results. From Italy, Lorenzo Beltrami was also going to be one of the ones. And highest UTMB score, 917, Nadir Maguet, representing Team La Sportiva, was going to run extremely hard. So there's the aerial shot of the start in Salardou. All the runners are getting ready, getting in the zone. For me, it's the first time that I come to Val d'Aran, and I've seen a lot of videos, and I've realized last year that this was going to be a very cool course, very technical up in the high mountains, just like I like, and this is why I chose to come here this year.
It's the first time doing Val d'Aran, and I'm very excited for it. I've heard a lot of great things about this race, and it's major this year in the UTMB series. So definitely will draw a lot of good athletes, and I find that very motivating.
And indeed, it was going to be an extremely fierce battle in a stacked field for all the front runners. And all the other runners, the back of the pack, was gonna have up to 14 hours to go on their journey over the mountains in the Vieille Valley. Look at this.
Just stunning scenery. Now, quite an easy terrain compared to what we've seen Nadir run on so far. Nice wide Jeep trail here. So he's really opening up. It looks like he's taking it easy, but I know that he's pushing.
There we go. This is what we believed we were seeing. It was indeed Miao in the lead of the women's race on her way to Tuxalana, wearing a white t-shirt. So this is going to be our way to identify her, because I believe Sylvia will be kind of bluish top with the HOKA gear. Miao from China, representing Team Salomon, is launching herself into the technical descent. And just to give you an idea, like, she is extremely strong downhill runner.
And following the second woman, Sylvia Nordskar, she will be chasing down Miao. Quite a long stride from Sylvia on this Jeep track.
She is a tall runner.
Yep.
She's got long legs, so she's making good use of it.
And here we are following Nadir Maguet, first in the men's 50K. Absolutely flying.
Looking at the UTMB index here on the screen on the left side of your screen, over 900 on paper. He was the one that
kind of was supposed to take it out. Our current standings took Salana at the second highest point in the course. Miao from China leading, but not so far back. He was only 30 seconds, might be a little bit more now on Sylvia Noxcar. Elisa Isco in third, already a ways back. Julia Fungomet, Sheila Viles, all within a minute of each other.
So we are used to commentating on them in the top 5. Then on the men's side, Nadir Maguet in first with about 4 minutes behind Lorenzo Beltrami from Italy, followed by Leonard Matrica, a few minutes behind that. Then Sindre Bodas and Christian Allen from the US with the speed mullet in 5th. So only 10 minutes in between 1st and 5th on the men's side, with a bit of a bigger gap, 15 minutes between 1st and 5th on the men's side.
And as you can see on the screen again, we had the grade of that downhill where Nadir is running. Let's get the confirmation there. So that long descent, Montromes and Artias, sub 20-minute descent for the fastest time on that segment. But again, we might see Nadir crush that. Although he's not firing on all cylinders. You can see he's just holding back and cruising down. And it's in Magico. And then I don't know if this is on purpose, but that's the reference. Like Nadir Maguet, his nickname is Il Mago, and it's the magician, because he always pulls
a rabbit out of a hat,
or a beer out of the pocket. Like if the man can run, like his partying ability only matches that, if not better.
3 hours and 45 minutes into the race. And now we are following Sylvia Nordskar second, right on the heels of Yao Miao from China. She will be looking to make sure that she doesn't widen that gap. And we'll have to see if she's going to try to overtake at some point. Perhaps difficult on these technical trails. Maybe she's waiting until the terrain opens up a little bit more before she makes a move. On the men's side, just a recap of the top 5. Nadir Maguet, Lorenzo Beltrami in second. Now through the last checkpoint, there was again about a 4-minute split between them. We're still waiting for Leonard Matrica, Sindre Bodas, and Christian Allen to come through at that checkpoint.
There we go. So Yao Miao here shooting for water. We'll see if she puts water over her head as well. It looks like it's getting hot. Like, yes, she does. It is almost 11 a.m. local time. Going for oranges.
Taking one quick look behind her to see if Sylvia's there.
And look at this. Sylvia is getting to the aid station now. So it's barely going to be a minute between them two, but she will not have seen Yao Miao, so she won't know at that point.
I'm sure they'll tell her
far
at the
back.
aid station. Now on the men's side, we've got Nadir Maguet in first, followed by Lorenzo Beltrami, and we are following on the screen Leonard Matrica.
Runner up and coming. He's been in the scene very quietly, but he's been getting better and better and better, and it's good to see him like doing his thing, doing his race, not worrying too much about what's going on, and he's moving up the field to now be running in third place. So exciting to see what he can do.
Now back with Sylvia Nordskar, you can see the stats on the screen, 15% negative. So she's got less than 15K to go. But she really can't, if she wants to overtake, she really can't afford to take it conservatively right now, I have to say.
Look at this, the distance has increased even more to 500 meters between Yao Miao and Sylvia Nordskar. We knew that the Chinese runner from Team Salomon was absolutely flying on that technical downhill. We knew it was her forte, so she was going to definitely try and play it out there, and it worked. 500 meters to make out for Sylvia Nordskar is going to be a lot.
But Yao Miao is absolutely dominating on the descents.
Yeah, and it's good to see her at this level. We know how much she can, how strong she can run. Sometimes She's not in the best day.
And let's take a quick look at Yao Miao's race last year at the UTMB World Series final in the 50K distance at the OCC, where she took the win ahead of a stacked field after taking the win at the CCC, the UTMB World Series final in the 100K in 2018. And look at her, ecstatic, celebrating the best day out there alongside some of the women that actually are also racing today. She's got a hell of a story, coming from an extremely remote part of China, and she grew up in a little village, and she tried to make the marathon team in China, but didn't quite succeed at a 2:59, but then find herself really in trail running all the way up to the world's best athletes. And there we go, all the top ladies in the OCC last year.
We are back with Nadir, and now he's already on his way to the finish. And look at him pulling up his phone. He's texting people. It's like, get this party started. I'm coming. Our Italian magician, Nadir Maguet, cruising, really making it look easy. Like, the man is in shape right now. There's no doubt about it. Fenre Mitrica has moved into second place in the men's race, and therefore would have closed a 4-minute gap on Lorenzo Beltrami.
Looking at the third place woman, that is Inez. She is chasing down Sylvia Nordskar and Yao Miao.
Here he is, Lorenzo Beltrami from Italy, previously in second place, and you can see he looks shattered. And look, he's holding his hip. Something must have happened. And seeing how hard he can still go until getting to the finish line.
He's running quite well at this point. I think he knows that that he's kept a bit in the tank to be able to make this surge later on. And this has got to be a tough moment for Lorenzo Beltrami. He was really in second for quite a good chunk.
Look at him giving a bit of a sign to the camera runner, the audience. He's like, yes, today the win was mine. And he didn't give anyone a chance to even get a feel of, oh yeah, I could win today.
Nadir Maguet leading from pretty much the start, running strong, taking no prisoners. With a
and he's looking up in the sky, smiling. Today, what he said, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2025 PDA, Maguet. And so we have the dream team on the mic. Just another Thursday morning run.
Course très très jolie.
He actually
Cette
dropped
année, je
out.
vais courir l'OCC.
And so this year he's going to run OCC already.
And so he's going to race at home in the Aosta Valley, the Monterosa race, 2 weeks from now.
shot in from third up to second, coming in for a finish with the crowds. Leonard Machica from Romania.
That's going to be a very emotional finish for the third place in the PDA today, ladies and gentlemen, coming from Spain, Pablo Bautista.
So this third place really rounds out a nice trio for him in 2025. Wow, this is a very fast time for Yao Miao.
Let's see her finish and take the win at this 2025 PDA.
Incredible win.
You sprinted so fast. It was like it was a road race, a 5-kilometer road race in the final kilometer.
I actually felt really tired today, especially on the downhill. So I don't really think it was my best day.
Con la tercera posizione, Ikram Rarsala.
And that is it. Your top 5 women in the 50K. Yao Miao taking the lead over Sylviane Oscar, but that was a tight battle. Ikram was in 3rd, rounding up the podium. Julia Font-Gomez in 4th. Now, Nadir Maguet also, as we said, left no prisoners. Leonard Michuka was 2nd, race of his life. Pablo Bautista also was so stoked on the finish line. Lorenzo Beltrami and Sindre Buras round up the podium. And just like that, we are already done with this fast and furious 50K. Once again, it was a crazy race right at the front with world-class performances, but once again, the rest of the field was out there chasing their own goals. They had up to 14 hours to close the loop and make it to the finish line in Vieja, while experiencing actually summer thunderstorms for the rest of the day. And we're moving to the 100K in Val d'Aran, the CDH, also altered course, 101 kilometer with 5,775 meters of elevation gain. And once again, we had a massive battle at the front. Let's take a quick look at the course on this 3D map. So there, another point-to-point race starting in Lees and then coming up the valley and round for one of the longest climb that they were gonna have, but also on easy terrain at that point, because now they're moving onto the high country, onto the technical part. And this is the toughest section they had to go through around these mountains and all these glacial lakes. This area is very well known for that, and they were running past countless lakes. Now they're dropping down into what will be the halfway point of the race on the plateau of Beret. And from then on, they were dropping back into the Vieja Valley, and then that was going to be a very tough 15-kilometer climb going through the Coulommiers aid station and then carrying on the 4-wheel drive track. From that point, it was a bit of a flatter section, a bit of relief for the runners, and then this single track on the Balcon down to Mount Romies, and then from Mount Romies to Arties was less than 4 kilometers on a steep downhill and then into town. And that was the last climb of the day, all the way now down into the finish line in Vieja. Like I was saying, 102 kilometers and just under 900 meters of elevation. Our top ladies, Ana Maria Jimenez Galvez was one of the ladies to watch on the day, as well as Norwegian runner Marie Klakegg Fenre, who did do extremely well, but we'll just see that very shortly. And the one and only runner from the area, Nuria Picas, 49 years young, an absolute legend of our sport that we were so privileged to have at the start. In the men's, also coming from Spain, Abel Carretero, also one of the top guns at the start of this 100K. Manuel Anguita, the experienced man, even though he's only 34 years old, he's raced a lot and will come with a whole lot of experience. And coming from the US with the highest UTMB index at 891, Dakota Jones was going to take on the Vieja Mountains for the first time.
This is my first time in Val d'Aran. I'm here to run the 110K, the Camins d'Air. I chose this race because I've heard a lot of really good things about Val d'Aran and the race here over the years, and I've had the opportunity to meet the race director, Xavi, and one of the people who founded the race. And I just feel like I have a lot of friends who have been here or who live here and have said so many great things. And so I wanted to be a part of the experience myself.
Running in Val d'Aran, it's for me the most beautiful place in the world, and it's very special. I ran 2 years ago. When I finished the race, I said never again, because it was super tough. But at the end, I like suffering a lot. I like this sport. I like this environment, the people, the place. And I'm here again, so let's see.
All right. Day 2, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the HOKA Val by UTMB, the European major of the UTMB World Series CDH, the 100K. And we're back.
Well, we had an exciting day yesterday following the 50K.
7 hours and 23 minutes elapsed in the CDH, the 100K.
So this is Baptiste Coatantiec from France in first. The lead, as we mentioned, the lead he had was only about 3 minutes on second at the last checkpoint. So there's Manuel Anguita in second, really chasing down Baptiste. Val d'Aran by UTMB, this is a World Series major. So out of the over 50 events in the UTMB World Series, there is one major for each region, each of the 4 regions. So this is the major for the European region. Any runner who finishes this race will get double the number of running stones, and each stone is another chance in the lottery for the finals. Also, instead of the top 3 in each of the categories going on to get an automatic entry into the UTMB Series finals in Chamonix in August, it's the top 10 that will go on. And as well, the top 5 who finish in the UTMB World Series majors will get the prize money. And it's quite a significant amount of prize money, equal, of course, for men and women, but the first place will get 5,000 euros to take home.
Look, the gap has shrunk down to nothing. Baptiste still in the lead, but Manuel Anguita is chasing, and he's chasing hard.
That is Oriol Barbani Bofil from Spain. Baptiste and Manuel really neck and neck near the front, and then a bit of a gap there before Oriol Barbani Bofil in third.
And see, that's what I was telling you. He's an absolute gentleman. He didn't go like ghosted him or anything. He's like, hey, a handshake, good job. And it doesn't seem like it's Baptiste fading out at all. Like he's still like good gait, still moving well put together. Hopefully we have a bit of a response from Baptiste. So the race is on all the way until the end. That's what we want.
Now we're watching the men, but I did want to point out what is happening on the women's side. Marie Klakegg Fenre from Norway. She is just dominating at the moment.
We are back with the audio from the cam runner who was talking back to the studio, and it sounded like he had a bit of a chat with Dakota. And Dakota was like, yeah, no, it's not the best day. I've had stomach issues.
Yep.
But I'm gonna get to the end. Look at this. Look who's duking it out. It looks like Baptiste is caught up. Yes.
I love following these two guys. They are leapfrogging one after the other. We just don't know who we're going to see when we're looking for the first place man. Is it Baptiste? Is it Manuel? Is it Manuel then Baptiste?
Oh, can you hear that? Back home, this is thunder. Both of them are going to get to the aid station. There's no crew at this aid station. It's just water and a bit of food. Wow, seems like Manuel is definitely running on the lower kind of energy level. So Baptiste was in and out.
He didn't even fill up his bottles.
Yeah, he didn't grab anything, did he?
Nope.
Baptiste Coatantiec from France,
Thank you.
currently in the lead. There we go.
Excellent. And here we have our star from Norway.
Man, she's charging.
It's like, I don't care about the rain. I'm not made of
Look
salt.
at her, she's smiling at it.
I don't need a jacket.
Happy as a clown. This is what she wants. This is probably gonna feel like home.
She is having a good time out there.
We are at 91 kilometer aid station in RTS, and Baptiste Coatantiec has come in, and as I was telling you, this is the last chance for these runners to see their crew. So you see he's drinking out of different bottles. One was clearly with an energy drink or some electrolytes. I'm impressed at Mary's pace. Like, she's absolutely crushing that climb. And
It looks like she's running on flat, but she's not.
oh, hell no. Looking at his watch, probably trying to gauge, I don't know if it's the pace or how far away from that final climb he is. Here we're with the third man, Oriol Barbani. He's cruising. It's interesting in the chat. They were calling him Yuri, so this might be the nickname that he goes by. So Baptiste is getting close now to the finish line, closer and closer, and he is looking really good. Still moving well, good stride, good gait.
Baptiste Coatantiec from France, who was leapfrogging before. with Manuel and Guita from Spain. I think now there's a couple of minutes gap between them, racing to the finish. He's just a couple kilometers away.
Damn, you can hear the mountain bike skid down. Baptiste must be quite anxious. It's like, that guy's gonna ram into me.
I would much rather be on foot than on a bike in this rain.
Baptiste Coatantiec from France is now coming into the last couple of 100 meters to take the big W here at the CDH, the Camils Ders, at this HOKA Val by UTMB, the European major, and he's giving it back to the crowds. First place for Baptiste Coatantiec.
C'est ma première victoire sur une grande course.
This is my first win on a major race. It's been really hard because we started very quick right from the start because we knew the course was altered. So we needed to go hard because it was going to be hard to make a difference by the end. So we were all breathing really hard and we were all together until really late, and that helped us to really get the best out of each other.
Taking a moment in the rain to cheer with the crowds and celebrate his second place in the 100K category. There we have Manuel and Guita. What a finish. Oriol Barbani-Bofil from Spain, third place in the 100-kilometer event at Val d'Aran by UTMB. This is special. Outside of her running life, she works as a teacher full-time in special education.
That will take a lot out of you.
Absolutely. And what's also interesting is that her husband is also running the 100K.
Oh!
I'm guessing he's behind her.
Second place. And that is the bottom of the descent, and then she's running into RTS.
She is looking good.
Maria Raskin has now taken second place ahead of Elodie Pierre.
I'd say the way that she's moving and the fact that she closed what was a 6-minute gap and now has a 7-minute gap on the other side shows that I think she is very well placed to hold this second position. And then we see on the right-hand side of the screen now the third place woman, Elodie Pierre from France.
Marie is coming in so strong and had a stellar day here. Masterclass for the 100K here at this HOKA Val by UTMB. Closer she gets, the bigger the smile shapes up on her face. This is so good.
I didn't think it was possible. I hope all of you who are watching this at home can just feel the joy that she is emanating out for all of us. Marie Klakegg Fenre, our first place women, just steps from the finish line. From Norway, Marie Klakegg Fenre, ring that bell! Congratulations. What an incredible performance.
Maria, tell us, how was the day for you? It was an incredible atmosphere at the finish line waiting for you. Rain, storm, heat. Tell us, what was it like up in the mountains?
So grateful for a very, very beautiful day out in the very beautiful mountains. The course is so amazing and I was just feeling so lucky and grateful all the time. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I was think of everyone today. So grateful for you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Amaya Raskin Medrano is about to take second place, breaking into a smile. Ladies and gentlemen, coming from Spain, please welcome second place in this HOKA Val by UTMB CDH, Amaya Raskin Medrano. And there we go, massive celebration for the second place finisher of the CDH 2025. We present you your third place finisher in the 2025 CDH, Elodie Pierre. There we go. A celebration with people who have come down to celebrate and witness history.
And just like that, our top 5 women in this CDH, Marie Klakegg Fenre absolutely ran the show. Amaya Raskin also second in a really good time, and wrapping up with Elodie Pierre in the women's. Baptiste Chassang, also from France, was chased by a Spanish army. Manu Languita was close by, and then Oriol Barmani wrapping up the podium in a very, very emotional finish. From start to finish, emotions ran pretty deep there again on that second day of the Val d'Aran by UTMB, welcoming all these top athletes as well as the rest of the field in a very inspiring manner. We are now moving into the VDA. Starting in Vieja at 4 p.m. on Friday, the 100-mile distance, also on an altered course, ended up being 140 kilometers, was still gonna give all the participants, the 700 brave souls who chose to go on a journey of a lifetime across the Vieja Mountains in this fantastic and beautiful region of the Pyrenees, we're about to go. And in that field, just like the other races, we had very strong runners up at the front. For the VDA course, rather than risk anyone's safety, the organization flipped to a backup loop, which is still pure Val d'Aran magic. Now let's take a look at our top female runner, Chi Wen-Fei. Well, actually not at the start. She couldn't make it to Vieja, but in second we had Wu Yangyang coming from China as well, 38 years old and ready to battle. This was not her first time in Val d'Aran. She really likes these valleys. And then coming from France, Jocelyne Poli, who had countless references. She's been on the podiums of all the top races in the world, and she was definitely our top female contender in this VDA. In the men's, coming with an intention at only 28 years old, David Hages from the US was here to really duke it out with the top runners, but Christopher Clemente Mora was here to give him a bit of a challenge. 40 years old, a whole lot of experience around this course. And finally, Arthur Joyeux-Bouillon from France, our ultimate top runner with 860 of UTMB index. This is my first time here in Val d'Aran. This is 100 miles, and I really like when the course is technical with a lot of ups and downs, and also a very wild side. Depending on how I will feel, because I know this is actually a very long race, I'm really hoping to come back on Saturday back to Vieja in good place. This race, I really like it as much for the race that for the organization, because my partner is a volunteer here and I know a whole lot of the course. This is also a valley that I've spent a lot of time in, so I've been coming to this region for 5 or 6 years and I really like it. And this is a very technical race and I am really good at it, so that's why I'm very excited about it.
All right, a couple of minutes before the start of the VDA. And there we go. Countdown, team.
And we are off.
And we do have a lot of top runners.
Let's do it. And of course, we've got a bit of an altered course here. It's a lower elevation. They're running more in the valley. It's a faster course.
We had 2 early leaders here, Arthur Joyeux-Bouillon. And in the women's, it was Jocelyne Poli, another French runner who was in the lead, but she has now withdrawn from the race tonight. Here we go. Welcome and good morning, everyone. We're back as promised, 6 a.m. local time for the 100 mile in the Val d'Aran. The sun is rising
A little bit of caffeine. Good morning, and maybe good night to those of you who are following from a different time zone. We are ready to follow the end or the last bit of the 100-mile race today.
Ah, there we go, our men's leader. He's using poles to go down, so maybe he started to...
Yeah, that's interesting. That was the first thing that jumped out at me. Normally, you won't see the leaders using poles on the downhill.
So maybe the legs are starting to feel the consequences of such a hard early surge.
And there we have images of our first place woman, Laura van Vooren from Belgium. That is Diego Passos.
Oh yeah, and now we see the bow tie. There it is. I was like, I did not know he had such a haircut.
Diego Passos, a fantastic runner in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a few stretches with the poles.
And in the meantime, Laura van Vooren getting to the aid station. Not one where you can have access to crew, but you can see all the volunteers are there.
108 kilometers through the race.
Saga Reda is in the house, and he is moving well. I believe he had a really solid descent.
Wow.
You know, that gap, I think, is decreasing.
Mm-hmm. He is now coming in exactly 20 minutes
20, yes.
after our tour, Joyeux-Bouillon.
Speaking of.
Gabriel Rueda from Argentina, absolutely going for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coming from
As we
China.
speak.
Hu Yuan.
What was interesting at the last checkpoint was the time difference between Florian in third and Arnaud in fourth, because they were less than 2 minutes in between one another.
Ah.
That is Arnaud, number
So we
12.
missed him. He was already there, wasn't he? Arnaud has now moved into third place after the RTS aid station. All right.
This is our third place woman on the 100-mile event. This is Anca Sindea from Romania.
5Ks to go. 5Ks to go. But once again, he absolutely delivered here.
And there we go, a little bit of a replay of Arthur Joyeux-Bouillon's 6th place finish at the UTMB World Series final in the 100-mile just last year. And he was scoring his third top 10 finish at UTMB Mont Blanc. He knows this finish line on the Place du Triangle de l'Amitié in the heart of Chamonix, and also a life event for this young man. A 2-month-old baby, so he was actually pretty happy that some friends could come and crew him because his partner was not necessarily there. And then, yes, it was also a revenge run because he had a really tough time at the maxi race in Annecy where he finished 22nd only a few months ago earlier this year. And then again, you can see the stoke and the attitude that you have when you're crossing the line in the top 10 at this UTMB World Series final in Chamonix. And on the right hand side, this is the live with Arthur Joyeux-Bouillon on his way to Vieja to take the win.
Gabriel Rueda, who we are seeing now on the screen, has led a very smart race.
1K to go.
Follow that yellow brick road to the finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Get ready on the finish line. He is coming.
Our male winner of the 100-mile event at Belgrade by UTMB. That's a reference to the fact that he is a new dad. Our male winner, Arthur Joyeux-Bouillon. Woo!
He's ringing the bell hard again as a celebration. He is part of the Val d'Aran family.
Fantastic finish for Arthur. This mountain lover showed all of us.
We saw you have like a pretty aggressive start, and so how was the race for
Je
you?
suis parti finalement à mon rythme, mais j'aime bien quand ça monte.
I actually
beaucoup
started at my
et
own
ça
rhythm.
descend
I
raide.
really enjoy the big
Donc le
climbs
parcours de base
and descents.
me serait bien
So
allé
the
aussi, je
original
pense.
course, I would
Non,
have
j'étais dans mon
probably
rythme,
loved
mais
it even more.
j'étais
But I was
concentré.
just doing my own
Je savais
thing.
que
I
ça allait
was
être long
focused.
et qu'il fallait
I
courir
knew it was going to be
beaucoup
long,
aujourd'hui, donc
and there was
fallait
going to be a
regarder,
lot of running involved.
arriver à
So,
Salardo. Donc,
so I
non,
wanted
je
to
suis
get
pas
to Salardo
forcément parti vite,
in
et
good
puis
shape
la
with
deuxième partie
some
s'est passée
left in the tank.
plutôt bien. Je pensais
And
plus
so the
avoir
second
mal
half
aux
was
jambes que
actually
quand il
feeling
faut courir.
pretty
Là,
good.
sur
I
les
thought my
30
legs
kilomètres et
would
demi
hurt a
dénivelé,
lot more
c'est interminable.
on that
Heureusement,
long
le paysage est là
20k
pour
climb,
nous
gradual
rappeler
climb.
pourquoi on fait ce sport et merci au bénévoles
But,
aussi. Donc,
but luckily,
voilà,
that
bravo.
the weather was there to remind us why we're doing this, like the beautiful landscape, and then definitely a big shout out to the volunteers across the course who were pretty helpful as well. Big bright smile, ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher in the 2025 VDA at this UTMB World Series Major. Yeah, Reda.
That smile cannot get any bigger. His face is going to crack. He is so excited to take that second place home. Well done. A couple hundred meters left to go for our third place. Ano Sigmund from Spain, coming back after a DNF at this event 3 years ago. He now is on the podium. That smile is going to break his face. Yes, let's ring. Congratulations. We are back with you following the top women in the 100-mile race at Val d'Aran by UTMB. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have Laura Van Vooren from Belgium, who has been leading this race since early this morning after Jocelyn Pauli from France unfortunately had to withdraw. And then in second, it's Wu Yuanyuan from China. This is following the incredible performance of Miao from China in the 50-kilometer race that we saw on Thursday.
All right, Laura is still running. Just over 10 Ks until the finish in Vieja. And she will be relieved.
She is estimated to come into the RT's checkpoint momentarily. Now, Laura Van Vooren went through at 10:25. It's only 10:40 now, so it's just 15 minutes ago. Now the distance has shortened. There is still quite a gap between them, 1.5 kilometers. We are following our first woman 1.2 kilometers to the finish. You can hear everyone waiting for her. And the emotion is coming out. Laura Van Vooren, our female winner. She is overtaken by emotion as she comes up to these crowds waiting for her in the rain.
Still has so much energy. I would not run any meters more after this.
Thank you for giving us all so much joy, so much emotion. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
I'm so happy because before the race I just wanted to be able to give my best, and I could put it all out there, and I'm so happy.
Wu Yuanyuan from China finishing in second place, the 100-mile event at Val d'Aran by UTMB, ringing that bell. Absolutely outstanding performance. She is overcome with emotion. She has run through foot pain. She has chased down Laura Van Vooren, really closing that gap.
The excitement of the crowds, and there she comes, flying the flag high for Romania. Ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher in the VDA at the 2025 edition of Val d'Aran, Anka Sinea.
And on those finish line emotions, let's take a look at our top finishers in the VDA in the women's field. Laura Van Vooren taking first, Wu Yuanyuan coming back again to Val d'Aran to take second place, and Anka Sinea full of emotions crossing the line in third. From France, Arthur Joyeux-Bouillon showed no weakness on the day, taking the win. Santos Gabriel Rueda, beautiful second place, and Arnaud Sigmund, a very emotional third place in this VDA. All right, this is it. We are done with this HOKA Val d'Aran by UTMB race recap, just like this. One of the 4 majors in the UTMB World Series is coming to an end. We certainly appreciate you tuning in. We hope you were inspired by these fantastic performances and images and landscapes. If you want to participate in one of the race, this race series has over 50 events scattered all over the world, so you most likely have an event near you. And if you just want to get involved, we cover races live for the rest of the season on the platform live.utmb.world. So by all means, get involved. This was Martin Geffery, and I'm tuning out. Peace.